Hi folks, I'm Nate with Two Guys on a Ride. Today we're out here at the beautiful Alexandria here at the lake, and we're out at Garwood Resort.
For the Diamond Legacy Classic Boat Show.
There we go, and we're with Dave. Now you may remember Dave from one of our earlier videos. We caught him at the Minneapolis Auto Show with Dixie Baby.
Right, exactly.
And but that wasn't his boat. Today he's brought one of his. So what do we have, Dave?
Well, this is a 1940 24-foot Gar Wood Overnighter. There were only 11 of these made in 1940, and as far as we know, this is the only one of the 11 that still exists.
This is the only one?
It's the only one. We found it in Idaho, where it had been in storage. Who knows why? It was in a building and not near any water, and we brought it back and did a complete restoration of it.
Now, what shape was it when you brought it home?
Well, it was in Idaho. It was a fairly dry environment, and it had been inside, so it was in fairly good shape, but it still needed to have all the wood replaced.
Oh, sure. So what kind of wood do you use?
Mahogany is what this boat is. The
Okay.
red stained wood is
Okay.
mahogany. The framing is white oak, as was original.
Man. So what about the engine? Is that original?
This boat was powered with a small Chrysler 6-cylinder originally, which wouldn't have been any fun at all in the boat, performance-wise. So we fit a new Crusader 350, 330 horse fuel-injected V8 in it.
You know, it's always good, Dave, to have just enough horsepower to make it, you know, across the lake and back.
There's never enough. There could always be more.
There's never enough. I'm not sure you'll ever hit the end of 330 as you go across the lake. Oh, well, a large lake you might. So is it a single prop or dual prop?
It's single prop.
Okay, and it's center mounted underneath?
Straight inboard. The engine is right under here.
Okay, and what about the upholstery? What have you done to the upholstery?
So the upholstery is the original Garwood leather pattern. You can see it's got some what's called veining in it.
Yep.
But the original Garwood colors were burgundy and black, and so we did it in a tan with blue veining to kind of pick up the blue and the hull sides.
So you actually put the veining in?
Yes, well, we had the people who make the leather for us do that. Yes,
but that's,
absolutely.
That's going to some detail there.
It is. It is.
That's wow. So when this was originally made, would this have been considered, say, a cruiser or a fishing boat or an overnighter?
Well, the model is called Overnighter, so it has a cabin with a porta potty and a sink and a water system and V-berth accommodation, so you could stay overnight in it if you wanted to.
Okay. So what about the chrome work on here? What have you done with the chrome work?
Well, the great part about boats is that the chrome was originally brass and then chrome plated, so it doesn't hit like automotive chrome. So if the chrome is present, it can be stripped and buffed and replated with chrome.
Wow.
So that's what we did with all of this plating.
That's an interesting difference between cars and boats.
It is, yes. It makes our life a little bit easier.
Huh. Okay, so tell us about the cabin here. So you've got a steering wheel, but then you've got is that your forward reverse?
Yes, the shift mechanism is on the helm.
Okay. And then you've actually got, instead of having an elevated floor where you sit, you've actually got a step that folds up.
Right. So the seat is mounted up a little bit higher in the boat because of the cabin kind of makes the sight line higher in the boat. So the seat is higher, and then there's a fold-down step.
So you can actually fold the seat down, too.
You can fold the seat down and drive it standing as well.
Man, that's really interesting that they made it that configurable. I mean, not only can you stand up with the seat in present, but you can fold the stand up and put the seat up as well.
Right, exactly.
So that way you can block everyone you don't want coming forward by putting the seat down. Yeah, no, probably not. So what did you have for gauges?
We adapted the original Garwood gauge cluster to read the modern engine center. So it's all, the instrument has been converted to all electronic.
So it is, but it's the original instrument. And it's kind of just we'll show you a picture of it, but it's just kind of a like a single dial.
Yes, single round.
On the side. What's the dial on the side by the shift lever?
That is an original chargicator, which reads the the level of the batteries in the boat. So there's
Wow, that's an interesting name. Say that again. It was
chargicator. So it's a charge level indicator.
Okay, interesting. I love the steering wheel.
Yes, that's the original wheel.
That says
boat.
Gilligan's Island all over.
Exactly. Well, hopefully we'll make it for more than a 3-hour cruise.
Yeah, hopefully you will. Yeah. I noticed on the door it's actually got like a glass insert.
It does. It's kind of a storm window.
Okay.
As you look at it now, there's bronze screen in there to ventilate the cabin. But there's also a separate window that drops in there and locks.
And then you have a window shade. And that was, I mean, that's original.
That is original. Yes, that was originally
so they thought
there.
about this. You'd be sitting in that cabin and get a little stuffy.
Right.
So you have a portal opening on your deck too, don't you?
Yes, there's a hatch in the deck that you can open up, and you can close the door and have the screen in the door.
You get some good ventilation.
Good ventilation through it.
You want that ventilation,
right?
And of course, so tell us what's inside there.
Well, there's a V-berth layout, which matches the curve of the hull, and that's all cushioned to allow you to lie down there and sleep there. So it sleeps 2 people basically. And then on the port side, just ahead of the bulkhead, there's a porta potty. And on the starboard side, just ahead of the bulkhead, there's a hand-hammered copper sink in there. And the boat is fit with a water system, so we've got running water if we want it.
Nice. Wow. So is there another storage cabinet to the left of the door, or is that just the paneling, the way it looks?
That's just the way it looks.
And this would not have had, say, a porta potty.
Yes, it did.
It did.
It does now. It's got a modern porta potty in it.
The original porta potty, though, did it vent right into the lake?
Yes.
How long is the boat?
24 feet.
24 feet. And, you know, by the looks of it here, Dave, it looks like you could almost go and sit on that front.
You could, yes, absolutely. And it's got mahogany rails on it that would give you something to hold on to while you're sitting on the cabin roof, too.
I mean, that's just, wow. That's kind of neat. I hadn't picked up on that when I was first looking at it, but
yeah. So
that would be the modern version of a suntan bed.
Exactly.
Because these beds back here, they don't reconfigure, do they?
They do not. No.
And that's the engine cover, the doghouse, right?
That's correct.
Okay. And then what's underneath? You got some more plating on the floor that obviously comes up. That's just
those are hatches, inspection hatches to get to the shaft log and other mechanicals.
That's where you store your whiskey when you're bootlegging it?
Exactly. Okay. Well, this is a little late for bootlegging. 1940, that was all over.
Okay, that was a little past this boat. So now the billy top, would this have been original? Would it have a top?
It could have had a top at the time. There were optional tops available.
Okay.
And we tried to recreate it as closely as we could to what would have been original, obviously using modern stainless steel hardware.
Okay.
Modern sunbrella material, which is canvas-like, but made out of polyester so it doesn't rot like cotton canvas does.
Sure. Man, Dave, you got to a lot of unusual detail to recreate the original look of the boat.
Yes, absolutely.
I mean, you've taken a lot of steps that most people would say, if we're resurfacing the seats, we're not putting cracks in them.
Right.
We're just going to do it. The same with the top, just trying to make it as original as you can, yet utilitarian.
Yes, absolutely.
That's just incredible. So, Dave, what got you into boats?
Well, that's a good question. I was always interested in boats because my father was interested in boats.
Okay.
And on my 5th Christmas, I received the Golden Book of Power Boats in my Christmas shopping, in my Christmas stocking, and went to page 134 in the Dream Boat section and found a 1961 Century Coronado shown in there that really hit my fancy, and I always wanted one, and I've now had one of the best ones in the world that we restored for about 20 years. Right behind you there's a sign. Yes. And this is your business. That's correct, yes. Freedom Boat Service. So give yourself a shameless plug, Dave. Okay, shameless plug. Yes. Freedom Boat Service, we're a full service restorer, transporter, maintainer of vintage boats. And we also help our customers move in and out of boats. If they want to buy something, we'll help them find it and help them buy the right boat. and we're also in the sales business, the boat sales business too, but only in vintage wood boats, and now vintage fiberglass boats are becoming popular as well. So we're doing more in vintage fiberglass.
Wow. So yeah, I see there were a couple of fiberglass ones here today.
Yes,
that
absolutely.
That was fun to see.
Yeah.
What's one of your favorite memories with this boat?
Oh gosh, being here at the show in Alexandria, it's just a treat to be able to take this boat to various boat shows.
It is fun, isn't it? I know I've watched all the people all day long come in, and it's so fun to see a piece of history that looks like it's just came out of the showroom floor.
Right.
And works. It's real.
Yep.
And then not only that, but you can hear them a little bit behind us, but they're out there driving them.
Right.
So you get to see them move as well.
Exactly right. And everybody has a wood boat story. My uncle had one, my grandpa had one, my dad had one, the guy on the lake that we all admired had one, and a lot of this is about recreating something that people weren't able to have when they were younger, and now they are, and so they're coming to the vintage boats.
Yeah. Well, Dave, thank you so much for spending your time with us today and for sharing your beautiful boat and its story with us. We sure appreciate it.
Well, thank you for the opportunity. Good to see you again.
Good to see you again.
All right.
Thanks for watching.